Hi, Lee Colan here. Listen, keeping things simple is always the best way to go, especially when you're creating a plan for your organization or your team. Man, there are management journals and articles and everything written all over the place about all the different terminology and stuff you could be using. Cut through the clutter. Don't get caught up in what's a strategy versus a tactic and a goal versus an objective and a measure versus an index. Forget all that. Just answer the 6 simple questions for your business or your team. Question number 1, why do we exist? This is very fundamental. This is not about generating revenue or creating shareholder return. This is more fundamental than that. How do we help the human condition? How do we serve others' needs? Right? This is something that needs to be compelling for your team. So answer that question, why do we exist? It's not easy. You got to pare it back. Our first instinct is to answer the question, what do we do? And that's important, but then you need to tag on, and therefore, or so what, or what this is what we do in order to. What's the more fundamental need we're trying to get to in our team or our organization to answer the question, why do we exist? The next question is, where are we going? So this is critical because this is really a motivating force. This is kind of that lighthouse out there that says, this is where we're going, this is a better place. This is why we have to make all these changes that are difficult, and it helps us push through that. So defining some compelling vision of where we're going is absolutely critical. It has great magnetism to it if you do it in a clear, concise, compelling way. The next question is, of the simple 6, is how will we conduct ourselves? This is a statement of our norms internally, usually a reflection of our values, of how we're going to conduct ourselves, how we're going to treat each other, how we're going to share information, communicate, resolve conflict, all those kinds of things, internally but also externally. How will we conduct ourselves into the marketplace? That's question number 3. Question number 4 is one of the most fundamental ones. It's, what will we do? Right? How will we address the marketplace? Just as importantly, what will we not do? Who will we serve? Who will we not serve? This creates tremendous clarity if we could answer these not questions also. Don't just kind of create a bigger and bigger bailiwick. These are all the things we're going to do. The more focused we can be in defining that, answering that question, what will we do, the better off we are, the more likely that we'll actually be able to execute our plan day in and day out moving forward. Then once you define what you'll do, you have to answer the question, how will we measure our success? It should be directly linked to what we will do, right? So if we're gonna drive more market share, right, or we're gonna penetrate a new market somewhere, how we'll measure that becomes pretty evident in terms of our market share, our market penetration, right? We have to have measures. You know, what gets measured gets done. So if we don't have measures to support our plan, not likely that it's going to get done and we'll be able to stick with it over time. The last question is, in order to do these things, right, what will we do and what will we measure? We have to say, what changes or improvements what must we make organizationally to get there? Do we need to shift the way that we do business internally? Do we need to shift the kind of client profile that we're going at? What will we do? What changes must we make? This gives you a great glimpse into the types of initiatives that have to happen in order to bring your plan to life. So think of the simple 6. Don't get caught up in all the terminology. You'll create a clear, concise plan. It should be no more than a couple of pages. Then you have a much better chance of sticking with it and winning. Thanks.